On behalf of the 2020 and 2021 Board of Directors, I would like to welcome you on our annual membership meeting. My name is Agata Czopek. I'm serving as a 2020 chapter president, and I will be leading the first part of this evening. Rest assured that the rest of the board members are with me today, and they will be able to answer all your questions. This evening meeting today has a very special format. That's also the note for those who are joining us for the first time. This is annual membership meeting, so we're going to have a certain part of reporting on the chapter activities, and then we're going to move to the panel. But additionally, this evening has a very special format. This is the first time that we are running our annual membership meeting as the virtual one. None of those has been run in that way before. So we adjusted the agenda a little bit to give the space for the formal announcement, but also to keep an interesting discussion. But let's start with the basic rules of engagement first. So in general, all attendees will be muted during the sessions, and the interactions will be run via chat and the Q&A. The session will be recorded and will be published on the PMI Switzerland YouTube channel. And of course, let us know if you have any difficulties, so you can hear or see the presentation. We'll do our best to help you. Additionally, we're going to run some polls during the event, so please respond to the questions that will be popping out to the screen. And bear in mind that we have a chat and we have a Q&A. So please use chat for chatting and use Q&A for posting your questions. We will take all the questions and try to respond them simultaneously during the event. But also we will have at the end of the event a time for everyone to connect and ask the questions to the participants. And all the event slides will be shared with you after, so you'll have the chance to see all the contents, and don't worry, you don't need to take the notes. So let's start from the question to you. I shared where I am joining from, but a question to all the participants. Where are you joining us from? You can submit your question. Okay, I think we are all good to go. So what's the result? What would you bet? Okay, so we have region Romandy winning the game. Then we have Zurich, Basel, other parts of Switzerland, other parts of Europe, a bit of Asia, a bit of North America too. Excellent. So warm welcome once again, especially to those who are not in Switzerland. And very happy to have you with us. You wouldn't be able to join us if we had the meeting on site, I guess. So there are certain advantages. So now let's move to the meeting agenda. As I mentioned, there's going to be two parts. So the first part will be a formal part on reporting, a part on the annual membership meeting. Then the second part will be a panel with our great speakers on the topic of the future of work is human. And after that, we're going to have an open Q&A. So whatever question will be left unanswered, we will stay with you for the half an hour at the end, and we'll be able to hopefully talk more. So the first part will be the summary of 2020. So what we done in the last year. I will share the results of the Volunteer of the Year and the President's Award. We will present the financial report, the financial annual and audit report, and also election results. And then we'll spend a few minutes on the outlook of 2021. So, great. Let's move to the first part, to the summer of 2020. And I would like to start this part from presenting the board of directors that was serving the chapter during the 2020. So on this side, I was running the chapter as a chapter president. Karolina Letowska was running as our treasurer, and Philippe Suppard was supporting us on a very crucial role of secretary and operations. During last year, we also introduced a new ways of working, and we did set up 3 board support committees. The marketing and sponsors committee was led by Anna Celaya. The members and volunteers committee was chaired by Larissa Aragon Castro, and events committee was chaired by Stefan Wessenmeier. So you may ask the question, what happened and what the chapter achieved during the last year. And it was a very special year, and yeah, I'll tell you why. So we started, as every year, I would say, busy before the annual membership meeting. And on top of that, we did launch the new PMI brand, as you see also today. And we had a great opportunity to host a CEO of Project Management Institute, Sunil Prashara, with us during our last annual membership meeting that happened in Zurich. And then, I mean, the world around us slipped out of control, and the small virus caused so much disruption, not only in our life, in our work, but honestly also in the chapter operations. And I do remember like the first discussion, like how long it's gonna take, you know, maybe we should pause the event just for 2 or 3 months, you know, the summer will be better. And we all know the answer. I mean, the summer wasn't any better, and we just had to adapt to the new reality, adapt to the new virtual reality. So in April, we did launch our first virtual event, and that was literally the first virtual event of the chapter. You might not imagine, like, you know, how cannot you run the event virtually, but that was the reality. The events were always live. And we also started the new ways of engagement with our members. We did introduce our monthly Friday coffees with the board, where we invited members and also not members to just, you know, share with us and discuss whatever topic came to the mind in the early Friday morning. We started opening more the social media channels to reach out to more members and volunteers. The social good team was very active too, running workshops. And somehow, thanks to COVID, we did deliver a virtual workshop with collaboration with the PMI Educational Foundation to Junior Achievement Africa. So you may say, okay, without the COVID, potentially we would never support, you know, volunteers in Africa. So we did also work on the new HR processes, and we supported our students also running the workshops, of course, online to the University of Lausanne. So we did finish the year reaching several numbers. So we did ended up with 4 social good, you know, outreach sessions to our communities. We managed to run 5 live events before COVID hit us. We managed to run 17 virtual events. And this wouldn't ever happen without the support of our 85 volunteers. In general, we had more than 1,200 event participants in the events that we ran, and we ended up the year with 1,540 members. And on that note, I wanted to say big thank you to all the volunteers. I mean, that wouldn't have happened without you. So that's the big thank you from my side. So now let's move to the Volunteer of the Year. So each year the chapter runs a Volunteer of the Year competition, I would say a little bit. It's a competition. We have few categories that we can nominate our colleagues. There is a category of the driver who motivates the people, innovator who comes up with the ideas, a team player, developer, rising star, and diversity and inclusion ambassador. It's my great pleasure to announce that the 2020 Volunteer of the Award goes to Patrick Nosalik. Big thank you, big applause to however we can run the applause. So Patrick has been nominated in 2 categories. There was no question that that he is the winner. So big congratulations. He introduced the open spaces, a new format of facilitating learning experience. And new sessions on the open spaces will be opening soon. So stay tuned and join Patrick on that event. So big congratulations, Patrick, to you, and then big applause. Now it's the time for the President Award. So for the 2020 President Award, I would like to acknowledge big work that was done by, tada, Anna Celaya. So Anna did join us as a volunteer. She did a great support for the social good team, and she was running with me workshops for the students of the universities in Zurich. And then she joined us as a member of the board and served during this year, helping enormously to work on the social media channels, on communication, and on sponsoring. So big congratulations, Anna, to you. And I can quote here that if my life would steer me on a deserted island, I would love to have Anna with me. She can do magic. And if you meet her, maybe one day, you can ask her what was her next challenge to go. And that's always an amazing conversation. So please do. So now on this note, I would like to hand over to Carolina to present you the 2020 Financial Annual and Audit Report.
Thank you, Agata. I hope you can all hear me well. So welcome, everyone. As each of the year, we present you the financial report and the audit report. So it's, as I know, this is not the most exciting topic, but we own this to you, to our members. So I'd like to move to the next slide, where I will walk you through a little bit through the numbers. We finished the year 2020 with the income of 11.5 thousand Swiss francs. You can see with the income and expenses a big decrease in the numbers. The main reason for that is obviously the COVID situation. And the main reason also for that is the fact that we moved to the virtual free events, free of charge events for you. So looking at the income numbers, comparing 2020 to 2019, the 2 main sources of income for us was the membership fees for the Swiss chapter members and the sponsorship. The event income is it's very small this year, and it's mainly focused on the first quarter of the year. After that, we moved to the virtual events. When it comes to the expenses, very similar situation. So the costs of the events also decrease because we move virtually. We didn't have to pay for the venues. And a big decrease on the cost also for travel and meetings. That's because in March, the board, we decided that all the meetings, all the travels for volunteers and the board of directors, all the meetings will happen virtually, and we continue to do that. So this is also some cost that will probably will be small this year for our volunteer meetings. Here, I would just probably give a brief update on the balance sheet. You can see that there is no really big difference on the assets and liabilities, total number of the assets and liabilities compared to 2019. the slight increase is mainly due to retaining earnings, and that's due to the income that we had compared to the previous year. Um, but pretty much most of the factors are at the same level. So you can see it's a long text. Each year we ask our audit team to provide the audit report. We provide the team with the financial numbers or the bookings, transactions, and we run a mid-year audit and end of the year audit. So as Agata mentioned at the beginning, um, we will share this presentation with you so you can then read the whole text. And I don't want to now bore you all with reading the whole text. I will just read maybe the main points. So on the positive side, the auditors, and for the 2020 years, the auditors for PMI Switzerland chapter was Raimond Street and Jan Steiner. So on the positive side, the auditors recognized how the COVID crisis pushed the chapter towards digitalization, and that from one day to another, we moved to the virtual meetings and events. On the negative side, this move to the virtual meetings has impacted the three main revenue sources. So the sponsorship revenue, that's because value for the sponsors was mainly based on the presence on the physical events. The event revenue, because the board decided to have online events for free. And here is the recommendation from the auditors to reconsider that. And the member subscription, that's something that we look at. It's one of the points that we can also see the member subscriptions for the first time in 6 years decrease. It's up to year 9%. So this is something also that we will be looking, and that's something that the board in the next year will look at what's the reason behind. Also, the responsibility for the chapter auditors is to express an opinion of the financial on this financial statements that we provide. And in the opinion of the auditors, the accounting records, financial statements, and the proposed appropriation of available earnings correctly represent all transactions taken place during the 2020 financial year. Therefore, they recommend to approve the financial statements submitted, the benefit for 11.5 thousand Swiss francs, and total assets and liability of 109,000. Also would like to remind one more time what Agata said at the beginning. If you have any questions to us, please put them in the Q&A. Use the feature on your Zoom panel where you have the Q&A icon, so we can follow up and maybe also during the session answer the questions. I'm more than happy to also answer the questions when it comes to the financials. Because in the chat I can see that there's like a big movement going on, and we may not follow all the items that are flying around. And at the end of the session, we will also, if you have any questions, we will answer them over there. So over to you, Agata.
Yep. Thank you. So now, following the rules of engagement and annual membership meeting, there is a big question to members, and please only members vote. It's a discharge of 2020 financials and PMI Switzerland Board of Directors. The first question is, do you accept financial results as presented and audited by the finance auditors? And the second question is, are you giving discharge to the chapter officers for their management and results of 2020? Thank you very much for casting a vote. Can we have the results? In general, normally we would just, raise the hand and vote. Thank you very, very much. We'll protocol accordingly. Thank you so much. Okay, so now it's the time to announce the election results. So the election committee was tasked to find new candidates for the 2021 board of directors, and not only. So the election result goes as follows. For the board of directors, we're gonna have Philippe Super, who will continue serving the chapter, Agnieszka Skalska as a new board member, and Klaudia Rasalski as the new board member too. For the financial auditors, we're gonna have two more auditors selected, Loredrana Serban and Lilian Kishi. Thank you very much. And also for the nominations committee, we're gonna have Alp Kamici. Congratulations to the new chapter leaders receiving more than 11% of votes, and big thank you to the ones that are leaving us and serving the chapter, for Ian Steimer as the auditor, Raymond Street as the auditor, and Carlos Martinez Artega as the nomination committee member. Big thank you for your service and for the last year and years in certain cases. Big thank you. And now let's move to the next part of the event. I'm handing over back to you, Kara, on the 2020 and 20th anniversary.
Thank you, Agata, and thank you for the overview of the 2020. With that, we finalize the year 2020 for the PMI Switzerland chapter. And we will now, I will try to present you a little bit of the outlook of the 2021. And one of the biggest things that is happening this year is the 20th anniversary of our chapter. So I would like to start with the next slide and to present to you the board of directors for this year. As Agata stepped down from the president role, I'm really happy to join, and was really happy to be elected and join and took over the position for president for the 2021. And with that, also the position of treasury, I passed to Claudia, who was elected to the board. Claudia was working with me in the finance team for the last 2 years. So I think she will do an amazing job, as she already has the knowledge and experience of the chapter finances. Philip rejoining was re-elected, and he will also continue the role of the Secretary Operations and Technology in the chapter. So he's supporting all of us, all the volunteers, members, throughout all the activities. Now we will still continue working within this committee system. And with that, Agnieszka Skalska and Felix Jimenez will both be leading the committee of the brand management and development. Agnieszka is also a PM for the PM conference on the chapter, so she already has a quite good knowledge of the marketing and communication. And Felix was for quite some time engaged in the newsletter, PMI newsletter, so he also already has experience as a volunteer on what's going on and what's happening in the communication part. Larissa will continue leading the members and the volunteers team. This team is growing. There is a lot of things going on, and we hope to have also more things for the members this year. So you just need to bear with us. Stefan will continue to lead the committee for events and PMIF. Events is one of the biggest team. Event is covering not only the monthly events, but also all this coffee with board, monthly coffee with board, the master classes, conferences. So Stefan is also for many years working in the events team. He knows the chapter back and forth, and he's the best person to run this committee. And Agata, even though she stepped down as a president, she decided to stay with us, and we are really happy that she will support us. She will take role of the past president, and she will support us by leading and running the sponsoring and partners committee, so we can have a look at the strategy and offering for our sponsors. So yeah, that's I would like to finish that with the Board of Directors 2021, and I'm really looking forward to work this year. I think we have lots of really great people, and I can feel that it will be really good year. This is the big announcement and why I think this year will be amazing for the chapter. First of all, we have lots of new people in the boards. I can also see that we have quite a lot of new volunteers joining end of last year. So there's lots of going on, but the big thing is the 20 years anniversary for the chapter. And exactly 20 years ago, on 18 October 2001, Andrea Behrens, she is the founder and also the first president of the Switzerland chapter. She presented on the 18 October 2001 the first charter to the PMI Global. So that's a big achievement, being for 20 years, building the community, the number of members growing, the number of volunteers growing. We did lots of amazing things in the last 20 years. And we definitely would like to celebrate this with the members and the volunteers this year. So this logo that you can see, you will see now pretty much on every single social media, on any on all the platforms. And we also prepared something for you, for our members and friends. If we can move to the next slide. So the first thing that we want to do is 20 for 20, minimum 20 events for the 20th anniversary. We would like to start a game throughout the events, so anyone can participate. I will talk a little bit more about this game in a second. So anyone can participate, and I do encourage the members to participate in this game because we have a good, really nice prizes at the end. And I really hope to have the celebration event with all the members. Obviously, we don't know how the situation will look like this year concerning the COVID and pandemic situation, but really hope the second half of the year will be much better and we can organize a celebration event with all the members here in Switzerland. Preferably around October, so then it will be really a perfect time to celebrate exactly 20 years. And there is more to come. We actually set up a special team to organize this celebration time. So just bear with us and track what's happening on our social media, and then you can see what we are planning for all of us. Now on the next slide, just very quickly, I will run through the anniversary game rules. At each of the event, not masterclass or the conference, but the regular monthly events that we organize in our in the 3 regions, we will present the keyword. This keyword might be presented at the beginning, in the middle, or at the end of the event. And you as a participant should collect the words and create a full sentence statement, and then send final results by end of the year to PMI Switzerland. Obviously, the sentence statement will be related to PMI and to project management. And at the next AMM, we will announce the winner. More details and the rules and guide we will prepare and share with you via social media. So we will have all the information, how to contact us, and so on. Just one disclaimer, this game is only for the Switzerland chapter members and the board of directors members are excluded. So we will not take part in that. So I do again encourage you to check out our social media and the rules of the game. I think it will be really worth it.